able to to corner a Zerg.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
pretty
insane.
astounding. Now he's such a bright mind in StarCraft 2. Look at that 8th Code S. Damn.
That's actually crazy. I didn't realize he was in that many.
Yeah, no.
I guess I associated him more when we first started casting him in Team League, but yeah, sure. You know, he's been here for a while. This guy was also mentored by Slayer's Boxer. I'm one of the few chosen to be mentored by him.
This guy's a badass for sure. You know, Axiom, they have their own team house now. I'm sure that he's in good spirits. Things seem to be looking on the up and up as far as his team goes. So hopefully he'll be well practiced today to take on these sick badasses in this group. But he's going to be fighting against someone who had a pretty big, unceremonious drop. You know, he got 2nd place, got slamizzled by Nesty, and finally he's back.
Yeah, Lucira, he's definitely showing us that he's a player that's going to be around and around for a while. You know, even though you're right, he did get slammed in those finals. That was incredibly one-sided.
Yeah.
No shame to losing an ST.
Yeah.
Creator of the universe.
That's
of all the seen and unseen.
How could there be? Well,
excuse me. No, you know, just to ask you a quick question, your predictions going into this match, because I think it's going to go to Ryung, but do you think Lucira can take this?
He definitely can. I think that Ryung will maybe take this 2-1 over Lucira. I have no idea what's going to happen with the group overall.
I think 2-1 is 2-1 or 2-0 for Ryung.
I think the only thing I'm pretty sure about is Pardon getting out because he's played so well recently. But by the way, as you may have noticed in that player profile before of Lucira, he plays with his keyboard way slanted.
Yeah.
You
used to do that in StarCraft 1.
I do that, yeah. It's,
you don't do that as much in StarCraft 2, though,
not as much, but the reason that it was really good in StarCraft 1 for Terran players is because when you have like 7
feet up to like the number 0 from 1 to 0.
Late game, as a macro Terran in TVZ, you would actually have, and you had to use hotkeys. You would have 8 or 9 hotkeys of Marines, and so it was actually infinitely quicker to go 1 through 8A for attack move.
Yeah.
With your keyboard slanted like that. So I suspect that's why he's carried that over, because I do the same thing with my keyboard.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, our map is going to be Neo Planet S, which is fitting for a tournament code S.
Yeah. It's been a pretty fun map so far.
It's, there's some clear techniques Terran can utilize here, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's better for Terran, but there's definitely a lot of stuff Terran can do.
Mech is pretty popular here.
Makes sense. The siege tank's so strong up against the walls.
Indeed.
Around the center.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, it's time to start our first game today here this week, so get ready. This is GSL. In the upper right, we have our Terran player, a master positional play, and sponsored by Total Biscuit, he is...
Action. Yo.
Those stickers on top of his keyboard? Let's check.
Actually, I didn't notice.
Let's check next time.
All right.
In the bottom left, the GSL finalist, he is...
LG-IMLosira.
It definitely could be, especially because he was on a team with Boxer back in StarCraft 1. Boxer pulled every key he didn't use for Terran out of his keyboard, and then some of the more important buttons that were far away from there, because you couldn't change your hotkeys in StarCraft 1, such as O for siege mode, which is way on the right-hand side that you don't use as much. Boxer actually used to put stickers on his keyboard.
That's so smart. I actually
like
did that.
raised key things.
I used to take a knife and scratch up certain keys so that I could feel it was like a texture was there.
Yeah.
When I do it.
I looked for the same things Boxer had, but I couldn't find them in America at the time. But anyways, this was a really interesting opening by Ryung that we haven't really hit on that much yet.
So we got some Lucira support here today.
Well, this is an offensive eBay, and he's done it twice now. Ryung actually rushing over on a 2-player map to slow down the expansion of his opponent. Now, will he try to push this forward by getting a gas and going quicker Hellions because he's going to have less time for creep or something like that? Or will he just say, okay, this is messing you up? Because tell me if this isn't messing him up, Taze. I mean, he's got 4 or 5 drones on there attacking non-stop.
Beyond that, it's also completely screwed up whatever build LoSira had coming into here.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably that build is built to memorize all the way up to when he gets maxed out, ideally, and now that's been completely toyed with.
Yeah, his production is going to be a little bit slower. His second queen definitely slower. There's a lot of things that are actually pretty annoying about that engineering bay block. So kind of cool to see Ryung doing that. That was something that we saw a little bit in StarCraft 1, but we really haven't seen from Terran against Zerg very often in StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see what the follow-up here for this is.
Yeah. And I like this offensive gas, by the way, of
well, it's a
LoSira.
smart move because this way, whatever Ryung had planned once he messed up LoSira, most likely is not going to be exactly the way he wanted.
Yeah.
Which is a really good move here. So
And
that way they're both, going to have to improvise a little bit going into this.
now, notice he's canceling, and some Zergs choose to cancel, some don't. You can make it live longer, but of course you're going to lose a certain amount of minerals, 6 every time you cancel. I'll be interested to see if he finishes off with a cancel, because right now he's spent 12 minerals canceling.
Sure.
So if he does that too many times, then suddenly
he's in a deficit.
Yeah, it's like, well, why did you just let it finish, you know? But no, I mean, its health is getting so low, he'll probably just get rid of it one more time.
Another remake over here. And that's going to probably be the last one for sure.
Yeah.
As the third Marine pops out, DPS is just too great.
Indeed.
Did he cancel that in time, or did it?
I didn't actually get to see, but I think it probably was canceled.
Okay.
I mean, 3 Marines kill it pretty quick, but not that quick. All right, well, you know what? This is actually, I want to throw something out there that I didn't think of when he first did the engineering block against LoSira. LoSira makes more queens than any other Zerg in this matchup.
Oh, I see.
We sometimes see LoSira go, you know, more than even, you know how, remember when 6 queens was pretty popular for a little bit?
Yeah.
We've seen him go more than that before on 3 bases, so that definitely could have something to do with it, kind of sniping the specific style of his opponent, something like that.
That's smart, actually. We'll see. I guess we'll have to find out later on, but yeah, that could definitely be the case there.
Yeah, it could have had something to do with it.
Link speed on the way now. And there's probably going to be a small amount of downtime here, since they can't really attack into each other.
Especially with that third command center making. I mean, Ryung has 0 options to put on any real attacks. Only light Hellion pressure, really. I mean, LoSira could get an attack going, but does he really want to? Not so sure.
Now, we're probably going to see a lot of passivity here from both players. Now, the third base is a little bit harder to acquire than a map like Entombed Valley. You're a little bit farther away than is convenient. But I don't know if that's going to affect the Zerg too much here if the Terran's going for 3 command center right away.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. In fact, LoSira throwing down 2 evolution chambers, not at all surprised to see that. He loves to have a very Ling-heavy style.
This is smart. He's not using this to harass. He's using this to scout. He wants to see what the hell is he doing.
Yeah.
Because now both these guys have messed up their builds. Messed the opposing player's build up. Neither one of them made a big mistake here. So,
well, the one thing that this Hellion definitely has done that's nice is it sees 4 gases and no layer being made.
Exactly.
So that's, I mean, that's a pretty useful thing to see. He did see 2 EVAs going up at the front, but sometimes that's just a wall. Normally you do get upgrades out of it, but that might make him, you know, a little bit wary just in case. You know, you never know if a Baneling Nest is going to come down. We're going to see some Targa Banes or something.
Another queen on the way here. You summed up pretty well, Artos. This guy does love making queens.
Yeah, he's already going up to 6, which used to be really popular. Not as much anymore.
How long has it been since we casted LoSira?
It's been a little bit for you and I because he's been out of Code S for quite a while.
I was going to say, like, it's one of those things that you don't notice until it's really pointed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess that's right. If we had cast him, it would have been an overseas event.
Yeah.
Not actually here at Code S.
In the last year, we've definitely cast him several times at overseas events, but not, I don't know if we cast him inside of Korea.
Oh, no. The stacked upgrades here on the engineering bay.
Oh, that's a huge mistake.
Attack and obviously armor should be at the other eBay, but this is one of those mistakes you just can't make. Upgrades are game breakers.
Yeah.
When it comes to a game like this where it's pretty clear they're both investing in the late game.
No, that's kind of a heartbreaking thing to have happen to Ryung right now. You know, he actually set up those upgrades so he could basically keep up with Zerg, but as is, Zerg is going to double his upgrades basically.
Yeah. Well, we'll never know if Ryung was intending to go for mech, but that didn't work out because his second gas was taken here.
Yeah, I think he probably wasn't going mech, because if that made you not go mech, then either you are like ridiculously on top of every single thing in the entire world, or you already plan to go biotank.
Well, with Ryung, I mean, it's always possible, too,
Yeah.
if he does this eBay opener, that there's, more than one little branch that he can go out here.
Oh, that's definitely true, yeah.
There's definitely not, I mean, the start of the eBay opener is not overly complex to pull off for the Terran, so it's possible there's actually several branches of this. We might even see Ryung actually do this a lot against Zerg this season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we don't see the other Terran players doing it, which means that
more
than likely in practice, the other Terran players are not doing it in practice. We don't see it on TV, so we're probably not going to see the other Terran players doing practice, which means the Zergs might not be as prepared against it.
To be honest, what I would love to see more than anything is Ryung go on to the next round to just see if he does it versus Zergs other than Lucira. Because that would tell us a lot about, was this a specific Lucira snipe or was this something else? All right, well, we do have Hive on the way. Bailing speed is about to finish a lot of queens out right now. Creep spread absolutely fantastic from Lucira. And Ryung's starting to do a little bit of pushing, but he's got to be careful because there are so many lings evades. In fact, Lucira is going up to 8 queens.
All right, he's going to come in here and try to push back any efforts for the creep to come out here. Now, one problem, well, not a problem, but one burden when you get the Hellions like that out early, you're only able to stop creep from one side of the map, because if they stop it at the top, they can still push from the bottom. But whichever side you're pushing back the creep on, that's also a signal to the Zerg as to which side you're going to push with your Terran army.
That's actually a very good point. And this creep spread is getting downright scary, to be honest. And Ryung is actually hunkering down, which is an interesting choice here because this is a really, really fast Hive. So, when you hunker down against Hive, this is a 3-base Hive, though, which it should be noted because let's say he's on 4 or 5 bases going to Hive, you have to be attacking. But on 3 bases, he can't really afford to go like Broodlord and Fester right now. You know, I bet you this is a little bit more aimed towards upgrades than anything else. Maybe throw down Ultralisk Cavern or something like that, but definitely wants to get his Adrenal and his 3-3 as quickly as possible.
So he's bringing it to the late game here. You can see he stopped drones at 75, and I think it's probably going to stay at 75 unless some drones get killed or something.
I would say so.
And he's going to go straight to the Ultralisks. Yeah. He did not get a Spire at all, right?
No.
He didn't even, it's like he made one and didn't make anything? Okay.
No. He's totally content to just utilize his queens as his anti-air. And look at this creep, man. This is actually getting kind of frightening. I'm actually starting to get some chills because this creep is pushing so far forward on both sides.
Well, you know what's interesting about it? When you have those 8 queens like that, I mean, that's so many, that was a big mistake. Losing 2 infestors, probably the first big one we've seen from Lucira. When you have that many creep tumors out there, you have to basically be uncontested when killing the creep tumors in order to get rid of all of them. Look at how, this doesn't even take a short amount of time.
Well, we have some Ultras on the way. The 2-2 has finished up now for the Zerg army, and in fact, the 2-2 not yet done for Terran. So that was a reasonable time to go in, but the spacing of Ryung right now is really, really good. If the Lings try to run back, they just get hit by more and more siege tanks.
All right, Ryung is starting to push forward here, but this is a pretty heavy distance to get all the way across to. Not to mention Zerg can keep expanding to the bottom as this occurs.
Now Ryung just being very good with his positional play, as always. Pushing forward slowly but surely, not getting too far onto the creep, but as these Ultras come out, I feel like it's going to add that extra damage, extra tanking that Lucira really needs to push Ryung back.
All right, we got the Banelings coming in here now. Destroying the depots. And they're going to go right for these SCVs. Can they get away?
Oh, pretty well done there.
What was that, like 10?
13,
about 13 kills.
Okay. In the meantime, we do have the Ultras coming out, the Tunnelings and Banelings coming up here now, and it looks like Ryung going to have to run back. Just way too many Zerg units here, and his Marines continue to retreat. There's still these infestors in the back, though he has to be very careful.
That was a good runaway there from Lucira. He pushed him back about as far as he possibly could, and then said, all right, I'm going to regroup, and it looks like he's going to attack up here where these depots are about to finish the wall in.
Yeah.
It's not clear if Ryung's aware of that. If I was Ryung, I'd probably be going up there now, and it looks like he is now.
Yeah. Now, You know what I really love about this style that we're watching here, Tasteless, from Lucira? It fits together so well, so smartly. You know how he has 8 queens? Well, he's bringing those now with his ultras to heal them mid-battle.
Great use of transfusion.
Yeah, the creep spread's so good, the queens can actually get in near the battle, which is a very rare circumstance. So Lucira has just sets himself up in such a nice way here. And
He's definitely got his own way of playing this, too. This is not, neither of these guys are playing a standard TVZ as far as tech routes or openers.
Ryung, though, starting to do some harassment, and this is really nice because with only melee units and nothing that flies, it's going to take Lucira a long time to get down here, and Ryung should be able to pick up pretty easily.
Yeah, it's a smart move. Yeah, as you said, he cannot punish flyers. I mean, without flyers, you can't punish this. Now, with the army being pulled back towards the bottom here to defend, it does look like, once again, Ryung is going to come out here and push back on the creep. Now, what I'm worried about for Ryung here is beyond this little drop, not a lot of damage has really been dealt to Lucira as far as his infrastructure goes. Although, again, if he gets this hatchery in the night, would have to eat my words.
Well, Ryung is starting to hit multiple locations at the same time, so this is helping him out quite a bit. Even though Lucira is blocking this, Ryung is keeping him busy. And look, the creep spread is receding on the top.
All right, he's cleaned up 2 medevacs so far. Both players are essentially maxed out right now. Now, check the upgrades here on the Terran Artosis. Is he behind? Did he recoup from that mistake with the upgrade earlier on?
He almost has. He's got the +3 attack. His +3 armor is still on the way. Not quite done, but Lucira's already got
it'll equalize it, basically.
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely. Now, here we go. The huge attack incoming. So many Ultralists running forward, closing on the tanks very, very quickly. Good targeting here by Ryung. But these Ultralists dealing a ton of damage, and the Banelings connecting with quite a few Marines.
Yeah, it's just Ultras, and that's when you need to book it out of there. And it looks like, meanwhile, dropping over here in the upper left, he's going to wiping out that hatchery not being canceled, and he did manage to transfuse those Ultralists, so that was a risky situation, but he actually pulled out and got, he's just fine now. Oh, sick.
Very good move there. But yeah, this is looking really good. The fact that he's transfused these ultras and kept them alive, you know, it's situations like that where you're going to lose 2-3 extra ultras just trying to get out, and it starts to become cost inefficient. But Lucira just keeping them alive, adding to that ultralist count, and mixing in Lings and Banes as he can. So his army's still so scary here.
Now, this is a cool little defensive move that highlights what we were talking about with Terran having some techniques they can use on this map. The siege tank army is behind the ridge over there, just below where the screen is. Looks like there's some indecisiveness here from Lucira. Looks like, okay, he will be going in here now.
And here we go. The Ultras actually getting up to those siege tanks, hitting a lot of these Marauders as well. Ryung not fighting quite enough, but there's so many units here that he may not even be able to. And the Spidey wall is not able to be lifted, but he does choose to run back for now. In fact, he's going to try to snipe off a factory.
And this was going to be not canceled, it looks like. And no. Too much going on right now for Lucira. That's 2 hatches he's lost that he could have canceled.
And Ryung's still trying to pick up this hatchery, not quite able to do it yet. It's called Ultralist harassment. I love it. All right, well,
whoa.
Hi. We actually are watching a Zerg mine from the gold minerals in the center, Tasteless.
That's right.
This doesn't happen all that often.
And look at the supplies as well here, 124 to 197. That's a pretty big difference when you consider the fact that the Terran is pretty low as far as mining from his expansions. As you can see, not a lot of SCVs here.
He's had a hard time with that third base as well. How many times have we seen Lings and Banelings run in there and mess that up? I mean, Lucira...
In fact, if you want to know, it's 40 SCVs to 75.
Yeah, and he's got the gold base, so... I mean, gold base is like Zerg has mules now or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. And now this base, I actually think we're about to see the end of this game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Whether or not Young leaves, I mean, this game's basically
well, how do you come back from
impossible to recover from if Lucira is in the driver's seat for Zerg.
Yeah. This is, I mean, Ryung is still doing a good job flying around with some of these drops and whatnot, but Lucira just continues to add to his unit composition. He's continuing to turtle up, throwing down spores, spines, and all that, and that's going to make drops less and less effective. It's going to allow him to be more and more mobile. His creep spread is right back to where he had it before on the top, Everything's working out so well for him.
LoSira is back and with a pretty wicked vengeance here.
Yeah, he's a bit vicious.
Yes. And I think we're slowly seeing Ryung kind of get choked out here. There is a hard drop over there at the at the gold base here.
Yeah,
If he can get that, actually, the hats would be great too.
Well, that certainly hurts the economy here of LoSira.
Oh, boy. Whoa. Oh, that was weird.
Oops.
Did he 1A that?
Yeah, I think he 1A'd it
Yeah.
because he probably thought, okay, these will just attack me because he probably had on a move before.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Does it make a difference? Not so sure. Ryung having such a difficult time actually mining.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, even though we see Ryung doing some great harassment, doing some damage, if you guys have noticed, the supply is exactly the same because he's losing everything he's sending out too.
Yeah.
He's just keeping keeping the Zerg from attacking him, but that doesn't really help that much if you have no real way of closing it out with a win and instead stalling.
You know, his income's down to 400 minerals per minute right now. That's bad. That's worse than one base. So
that's really bad.
I mean, his supply isn't going to get any higher either. We are actually just watching.
We're watching a nerd die.
Yeah, that's it. So this should be the last attack, most likely.
Yep, and then we should see GG here.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter how cost efficient
we
Ryung
will
gets.
go into game number 2. But right now, I got to say, LoSira has blown me away, man.
Great, fantastic
really awesome play. Very unique, a lot of personality in it, too.
Yeah. I mean, this is LoSira, man. He loves his lings. He loves his queens. And this was like a really insanely good game by LoSira.
Yeah. You can see the adrenaline going through LoSira now. He is in the zone, man.
Yeah.
He played great.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm pretty stoked to see him playing this well because he's actually a Zerg with more personality than most.
Yeah.
He doesn't just like make infestors and go into broodlords. He's not very standard at all.
Yeah.
You know, he's always played in his own way with lots of ling harassment, lots of upgrades, tons of queens. And it's, I don't know, in my opinion, he's just a more fun Zerg to watch than most.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Ryung's not out of this yet, guys. Those of you watching, rooting for him. It looks like the map Ryung has elected is going to be Cloud Kingdom.
A good choice.
Not a shocker there for a Terran player like Ryung who can really abuse map control.
You know,
somebody like LoSira.
This is a map where, at least for the Kespa players, we see a ton of map. Like, I don't even remember watching a bio TVZ on this map.
I wouldn't be shocked if Ryung went bio. I would not
feel like he is going
shocked.
to, yeah. I have to agree with you. And the thing is, he's very good at mech. But I feel like that last map, if he was going to go mech on Cloud, why not go mech on Planet S?
Sure.
But we'll see what Ryung has planned. He obviously has something planned here, as this is his map
that
choice.
Water bottle on his eyeball now.
Maybe his eyeball is hot.
I don't know, man.
It's overheating.
That's his Terminator eye.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, he's Terminator 2 right now with 0 kills so far.
I haven't seen the Terminator movies in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I watched Terminator 2 like literally
once
50
a year.
times.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it so many times. It's so well done, man. Who's the actor that was T-1000?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The T-1000.
Oh my God, tasteless. Derp. I'm like, what, Sarah Connor? Come on, tasteless.
No, I was always amazed how well casted that T-1000 was.
Oh, yeah,
and I was like, wow, there is just something like liquid.
There's something metallic about this guy.
Exactly.
I totally agree with you too, as goofy as that is.
All right, guys, let's go to game number 2 with Ryung and LoSira here at GoldenTV.net. In the upper right, in the red, we have our Terran player down 1 game. Let's see if he can come back. He is.
AX.Ryung.
And in the bottom left, we've got our Zerg player with Heavy Queen into Ultra Textile. Let's see what he does this time. He is.
LG-IMLosira.
All right. Exciting stuff, tasteless. What will we see from Ryung? He's sending out an SCV pretty quickly. Now, it could be a proxy racks that he's going for. It could also possibly be an eBay timing.
I think it's going to be the eBay timing again. Nope, it's Proxy Rex. Watch, he mixes eBay there. It's the craziest strat.
Oh my God, he rushes.
He's going for the plus.
He rushes to Neo Steel bunkers. I'm like, he's like, well, you can fit 6 Marines in this. The bunker rush will be way better. I'm like, but the bunker rush timing has passed, Ryung. Jeez.
I love trying to think of strategies that were deeply complex and simply cannot work. It's actually like not possible within the game for it to work.
All right. Well, this is just one. I don't even want to call it a proxy rax. It's about the same distance as a normal rax would be. So right now, he could have Lucira thinking, oh, this is a command center first build. Definitely could be a possibility.
Yeah, you do make a good point. The location of the barracks doesn't actually make it really proxied at all.
Yeah, and
it's actually pretty far away.
He hasn't started his orbital. Oh, there, he just started it. Okay, so now he knows that there was at least 1 proxy rax, and Lucira has to act as if it's 2, because he doesn't know for sure. So we'll probably see him pull some drones and stuff, but this is just going to be a light pressure, during which he hopes probably to kill a drone, force some extra lings, maybe force a spine, something like that. Make him lose mining time, but this is not actually designed to do damage, like real damage.
Well, this is designed to slow him down, not cripple him. I mean, maybe he'll get a drone kill here. Probably not, though.
Well, if you look at how many minerals are lost just chasing what he has out here, Ryung is gaining value from this. And look at that, 6 lings as well.
What is it about? If a worker's not mining, you're losing about 1 mineral a second.
I believe that's correct.
I think that's correct. That feels right even when I'm watching the mine.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to think about it. When you see 5 drones for every second that they're not mining, you're losing 5 minerals that you could have had.
And if he was just going to go triple command or something like we see now.
Like he is.
Yeah, I mean, did he need to do anything specific with that Rax? No, it's totally fine. Nothing is, and it wasn't even that quick. It was a 12 Rax, you know? It wasn't an 11 Rax. So he definitely gained some value there. Now there's 6 slow lings out. Who wants 6 slow lings? Not me.
Not me.
I don't want them. Well, actually, as a Protoss player, I would not mind having 6 slow lings, but... you know, they'd
be very helpful with your stalkers.
Yeah.
No, you never get away from my stalkers.
You try to 6-spool me, but I have 6 lings already.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I have my cannons to warp it in. I got lings to block. I don't have to use a probe or anything. I have to make a pylon wall. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, well, this is looking like it's probably just going to go into a macro game. Lucira is the only player here that can turn on any sort of heat, any sort of aggression, but he's already going up to 4 queens, which is very Lucira-esque. So expect this game to go pretty long.
What is I believe there's a term for a kingdom or a community that is ruled by the women, but I don't know what. I know, like Amazon. Matriarchy. Is that right?
Yeah. Ruled by like a queen, I believe, would be.
But I think it's just one female leader. I think there's a term if it's like an all. I don't know actually.
Where like it's all females in government or something.
Yeah, I think there's a term for that. If there's like I don't know actually. I'm gonna have to.
I don't know.
Let us know on Twitter if you find out. Call me tasteless and he's artosis. So I was gonna make some kind of joke like that, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not sure.
Well, it's definitely some sort of matriarchy.
The matriarchy is just run by a matriarch.
Well,
the patriarchy is run by a patriarch, but where is it?
A matriarch is run by a patriarch?
No. A patriarchy is run by a patriarch.
Yeah,
a matriarchy is run by a matriarch, but that doesn't mean.
Well,
it's not run by matriarchs, is what I'm saying. It's not.
Well, this one is.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's a hive mind situation, right? Like Kerrigan's the ultimate queen, technically, the queen of blades. Yeah. These are just like the lesser queens. These are like.
Yeah, the Zerg are actually a matriarchy. If you look at it, they're run by Kerrigan. Yeah, that's actually correct.
And in fact, the Overmind from StarCraft 1 was female as well, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think that's correct.
That was a female Overmind voice.
No.
Pretty certain, Taste.
Are you sure?
I think so, yeah.
Someone
check the lore and let us know.
No, let us know. I don't.
Dude, the Overmind was female.
What? We're going to have to lift up the Overmind skirt and check for female genitalia. It's like, oh, it's Zerg female genitalia. Gross. No,
it would make sense. Wouldn't that make sense?
Kerrigan's supposed to be the Overmind's queen, right?
No, Kerrigan made a rival faction of Zerg.
No, but initially when he infested her, because he couldn't, he got Kerrigan, didn't he?
No,
He wanted to be.
it wasn't a he though. It was a she. The Overmind got Kerrigan. Of course, it has to be the mother of the Zerg. What? Nothing else makes males can't give birth.
That's why the male Overmind has to find a female suitable. So he picks
that's
Kerrigan,
not what
and
happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You think she gave birth to Ultralisk? Stop. Stop right there.
She wouldn't have that lovely figure she has now if she was birthing those Ultralists.
You are out of control. All right. This is actually starting to get really interesting. So let's lay the lore on the back burner.
Yeah.
We have the 6 Queen style, and we have Blue Flame Hellions from 2 facts. But we also have Bio being produced right now a little bit. Both upgrades going. Not a ton of Raxes out yet, obviously. He's just getting the stim and adding the Raxes now. But I wonder if we could possibly see the Siege Tankless style. No, it looks like he is going to switch into Siege Tanks. Because it used to be every now and then you'd see Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Blue Flame Alien. But looks like he's just going to have a group of Blue Flames and go into 2-factory Siege Tank production.
So he's hitting this hatchery or not. It's more than likely the hatchery's not going to be picked off by by Blue Flame Hellions, but he is probably forcing a little bit more defense to be triggered before ideally Lucira will get that set up. Which one of the great things about applying pressure with Hellions or any form of pressure is you're basically triggering the defenses to be made before they would ideally want to make it, which can allow them to make it hard for them to get ahead later on.
And this is altering the way that, for instance, Lucira played last game. He's getting a Roach Horn, he's getting his Infestation Pit a bit quicker as well. And both those things are units, or produce units, that can deal with these Blue Flame Hellions. So, he's making Lucira jump through a couple extra hoops here.
All right, cleaning up some of these creep tumors here. The Hellions continuing to push out. I got to say, for a Terran that's got Blue Flame Hellions running around the map, Lucira has creep all over the place.
Dude, he's... he has 6 queens, man. Like,
yeah, it's just hard to compete with, yeah.
And in fact, he's starting to make more queens now. He's decided, you know what, now that I have 3 bases, I need 7 or 8 queens.
Damn.
It's a lot.
It's nice to see this kind of coming into style here, or like I should say, Lucira making it in style now.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love it. I love like a lot of queens and good creep spread. Good creep spread has always been one of the most powerful things for Zerg. The amount of vision, much safer you feel. I know you never played like a ton of Zerg, but when you have creep everywhere,
much more Terran and Protoss for me, yeah.
When you have creep everywhere, it's the safest feeling in the whole world. You feel like you can't be touched.
I played more Zerg in StarCraft 1 than StarCraft 2. Terran was the one I didn't prefer to play as much.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 I prefer to play Terran.
Supply depots were too hard to make, I get it.
No, actually they are too hard to make.
Yeah, I know.
You get blocked up.
It's not even a joke. All right. Well, look at that wall by Ryung. That is looking really, really nice. So any Ling run-bys aren't going to happen. He's going to have to make Banes and crush through walls, something like that. But, it makes it harder for Lucira to actually do some of his patented Zergling harassment. And, we see Ryung here. He's really keeping up on the siege tank production. Already has 6 with more on the way. So when he actually does his push, it's going to be ridiculously strong. Really, really strong. And against the really heavy Ling Baneling style of Lucira, he's going to be able to target him on those Banelings so quickly. And between the Blue Flames and stimming and microing his Marines, I feel like Ryung has gotten himself into a much better position this time to fight against Lucira.
At the same time, though, the real question goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is, can he actually push all the way across his creep? This is a lot of creep.
It's true.
It's a lot of skins you have to burn out. If one attack fails, hold on. We have is he? No, he's not. Yes, he is. All right.
Here we go, and quite a few depots do go down. The siege tank doing a good job.
Okay, nothing dies. Nope, something dies.
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't a big deal, though. 5 SCVs have died. That's totally fine. Ryung's defense doing exactly what it was intended to do thus far.
Notice, guys, the supply here is actually ahead for Ryung. It's about 10. It's pretty huge.
Yeah, he's playing fantastically here. Now, we do have the Hive for Lucira, but he's really just focusing on getting those upgrades. The Ultralisk Cavern does go on the way, but here we go. Tasteless Lucira deciding that now is the time, but is it really? And the answer is absolutely no, it is not, but he does want to lay more creep right there. I love it, man. He is just so on top of that, but Ryung does not want it to happen. And beautiful fungal growth going down by Lucira.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Looks like the medevac is headed southbound now at the left-hand corner of the map. And, well, we'll see. It's going to be up to whether or not LGSira can get a 4th and a 5th up here.
And, doesn't quite save that single unit. And here we go. The Siege Tank's actually being taken down so quickly here. And, oh my God, LGSira just connecting with absolutely everything.
Yeah,
here.
he blew that bad. Now let's see if he can keep the hatchery around over here. Because there's really not much defense. Some Lings come up. Well, that could probably get enough to drive it back.
Yeah, you should be able to save this hatchery, which is super, super important. Because even though he killed that army...
Actually, okay, he barely saves it there with 113 health.
I have a feeling there's going to be another medevac on its way there pretty soon.
I think you're right, Artosis. I don't know how you get those Miss Cleo powers, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Wow.
I've already seen this game. We're casting a replay.
This is M. Night Shyamalan moment for me. I thought I was doing live TV all along.
So, this is... A lot of Ultras are on the way. 3-3 going to finish way ahead of time for LGSira compared to Ryung. Ryung is down in supply a bit, but he's getting a good unit composition still. He's starting to make a lot of Marauders at a time, 4 at a time, in fact. And that's going to help him deal with these Ultras very, very well. There's only 3 Infestors out to hold his units still. So a lot of this is going to come down to the micro of Ryung here.
Sure. All right, here we go now. He's stimming. Well, he will stim soon and coming to here at this. And I think this hatch will go down no matter what.
Yeah.
Position here.
Pretty sure. And all the drones come out, but is it enough? No.
No, he didn't have enough to transfuse either.
No, he didn't. The King of Queens did not have enough to transfuse there. Wait a minute, that's a television show.
King of Queens?
Yeah, that's a show. That's like a really popular show.
Is it?
I used to watch that song.
See, we've been in Korea for too long, man. We're out of the loop.
Way long time ago, I used to watch that show. Anyways. Totally uninteresting side note.
Let's talk about the Golden Girls, Artosis, already. So, the 4th base here for Ryung has been
here we go. There's 17 Marauders out right now. Basically, Ryung needs to hit Infestors and Banelings as much as he can with the Siege Tanks, because fungal growths are how these Ultras can actually become valuable. A nice fungal growth there on the left.
But there's no more lanes, so he can just drive him back now. Let's see if he can see transfuses on the way back over here, and he does.
But he has no more fungals, so the micro of Ryung really starting to come in handy. The Ultras dealing some reasonable damage.
This goes to show you that individually, Ultras are nowhere near as strong as you think they are. They actually need to have other units around there. Like Artosis, the fungals, the queens, the lings.
Yeah, and, he had some of that, but the Infestor count really dropped. And you see that after that battle, he's actually adding 4 more Infestors. So he realizes that that's where he went wrong. LGSira needs more Infestors for his Ultras to actually connect.
All right, that drop's been driven out. And it looks like what's going to happen is LGSira's going to regroup over here and probably just hit the 4th again. Well, I think he probably is worried about the medevac nuisance here.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit annoying. Ryung is basically keeping LGSira back and continuing his Marauder production. In fact, he has 20 Marauders right now, which is just a huge deal against someone that's going for this set of units.
I believe the technical term is more than enough to kill Ultras of LGSira's. But, there's a lot of Lings. So
that is the technical term.
That's the technical term, if you want to get all textbooky.
Yeah, if you look at Encyclopedia Britannica, it's in there.
It's right in there.
It's like the scientific name of a flower.
I don't know. I think what really needs to happen here for LGSira is probably a Spire switch after he does his big attack.
If he could get a Spire switch off, that would be amazing. I feel like it's a little bit too slow. This is so on edge right now. Someone's going to tip this over and win pretty soon.
Well, the problem is that he doesn't have enough gas stocked up to just do it. But here we go. Attack coming up here.
And here we go. There's a lot more Infestors this time. A beautiful fungal growth going down. The Siege Tank's being taken in a matter of moments. More fungal growths holding everything still for these Ultras. Still a huge amount of damage output here from Ryung. And he's doing a great job dealing with all of this.
Now, he pushed it back a considerable amount, but the story is really in the supplies right now. It's 142 to, 179. So he can come back in. And that's pretty huge. Queens are pretty important for keeping the Ultralisks alive.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, though, he can remake 6 queens very easily. He's got the minerals, you know.
That is true.
And he's got the hatcheries.
He just started 6 more Ultras, and his economy's really good, so he can keep going Ultra, I guess, technically, but Ryung just continues to make Marauders. So if Lucira doesn't overwhelm Ryung pretty soon here, Ryung will be able to come back. He will be able to. Basically, Lucira has to do it soon. He needs to knock out this command center. He needs to knock out this army. Or the 4 bases, the good saturation from Ryung, and this constant Marauder production is going to catch up to the Ultralisk count in a big way.
Exactly. Again, that's why I think we need to have a Spire switch. You know?
He has only 3 Infestors. This could be a huge issue.
Let's see. I mean, if he gets this is a planetary stuff. If he takes us out, it's really bad right now. Oh, okay, that's smart. All right, hitting the planetary with the Banelings is smart.
Yeah, very good move.
All right, props, nerd props.
Yeah. And
we'll kill some backs up. Okay, I see what he's doing. He kills it, backs up, and now he can do whatever he wants, and it's up to the Terran to figure out what to do. So he's going to land. I believe the command center from his main is going there, and that'll be more than enough time for Lucira to actually make all these Banelings again if he wants to. I mean, granted, it's an orbital so he can live, but...
Well, Ryung now, I think, realizes that he actually has to attack. You know, losing that command center was just too important. His mining's down to basically nothing, and Lucira's mining a lot. So Ryung's starting to take a more offensive posture, but Ryung does not like to stand on creep. So you notice he's moving a little bit slower than some Terrans that we would normally see do.
Yeah. Well, he's a little bit reluctant to go out and do that. Ultra's going to clean this up easily. And I think we're just going to see him attack in here again. It looks like he wasn't even expecting Terran to be up here, so his army's not exactly grouped together perfectly.
Well, let's see, does he actually have enough here? I see no fungal growth, so Ryung actually doing a very good job with his micro. His bio not being hit at all, and Lucira being pushed back once again. His Ultra is much lower on health. The Queen count down to just 5. No Infestors out.
And hit this base, too. I don't know if he's going to, but he can.
Well, now he's hitting this base is a huge moment because that's going to leave Lucira on just a couple mining bases, one of which being his 3rd, which is going to mine out soon. And Ryung continues to close the gap.
If Ryung wins this, man, that's going to be insane. That'll actually be huge. Because I think Lucira could have won this game 100%, but he's stuck in this tech that, I mean, it's just a matter of time. Ryung slowly adjusting his army makeup, and I mean, you can't keep sending that many Ultras without fungal into a bunch of Marauders. They stim, they kite, and they win the battle for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see it. Can Ryung continue this push forward? I love that Lucira, by the way, taking the top left. That's so smart. He has so much creep up there, and it's so far away from Ryung's base of command.
The odds of him even checking there are so low. And then if it goes into the end game, like where almost all the maps mine out, and he finds out Zerg sucked up all the minerals there.
Yeah.
That can cost him the game, too. So it's pretty smart.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. He has to stay on this side of the map to protect this mining base because his 3rd is basically dry. So, I mean, he can't even send units up there. He has to keep them down here to stay alive.
All right, he's going to loop around here. And I think it's probably sunk in for Lucira right now where it says, wait a minute, I could have killed him. This is actually what it's like to play against Terran in almost any game where if you actually get that one extra base, the game goes on forever, and it's a very frustrating moment.
Certainly. Well, Lucira's still trying to get the space. You know, it is important that he continues to secure as many bases as possible because his Ultras are so expensive. And Ryung continuing to push up slowly but surely. He's actually got his siege count up to 9 with 17 Marauders, so that's pretty solid.
He's regrouping here.
Trying to pick off as many medevacs
and that's super smart because that means every time the Terran stims, if he's down a medevacs, it's a pretty serious decision with permanent lost health.
Yeah. And that's really important because he has to stim a lot to keep
found this expansion. Oh, not intentional here by Ryung. He probably was trying to fly down to the 4th base over there at the center left and stumbled upon this one. But that's also alarming here for Ryung. If you look at it on the mini-map, if you cut the map down the middle from top to bottom, I mean, there's nothing on the left side of that map that's Terran.
That's true. Whereas Lucira's actually taking that bottom right as well. He's just making hatcheries everywhere. He needs to take the the normal fourth base on the low ground of Ryung. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he shouldn't, but the game is a little bit too close. Now, we actually have Ryung continuing to push forward, but you know, Lucira's relentless creep spread is really bugging Ryung here. You know, I feel like he would have that high ground secured if it was anyone but Lucira.
You know, here's one problem. If Terran actually attacks with his ground army, this upper left base, Zerg just counterattacks the fourth base of Terran and pretty much wins.
That is so true. He could just send a small group of Lings there right now, in fact, because Ryung is continuing to push in this direction. You know what? Ryung may be switching over and taking the fourth base that we normally see Terran take.
And he is doing that right now, actually.
Oh, yeah, the command center is flying down there, so... yeah, I mean, it's a good idea, too, because these are the two bases that he now needs to deal with. He kind of dealt with the bottom right area of the map for a bit, and now the top left is becoming an issue.
Scan over here. Try to clean up this area. I have experience with this. We'll see how this goes.
Well, he's got to make sure that no fungals land on this big group of bio that he has. It looks like the Siege Tanks will be taken down.
Nice splitting. Very nice splitting.
Yeah, but look, he's killed off basically all the Banelings and Lings.
But he killed off all the tanks, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all he has to do is wait for some fungal energy.
That's right, some fungal energy or a ton of Lings, which is what he just made. Both those going to be very useful against this army of Ryung, but he does know no matter what it is, he has to reinforce those ultras. You can't let those things attack alone.
Yep. They're almost like support units.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird to say, but
it's so funny, too, because they are the beef of your army. It's just, you know what they are? They're like Colossus. Like, you can't have Colossus do anything
that's
alone.
a really good point. You can't have a Colossus running around by a Colossus by himself.
We have a few in your army, and suddenly it's a killer army. You just always run.
Fungals here. Expansion. This could actually be the checkmate move. And he's forced to lift there. He's got the army he needs here. There's some siege tanks that have come in here to replace, but not enough. I think this is the killing blow. We'll see.
Well, we will see here in a second. Tasis, here we go. A ton of Banelings coming in. And, in fact, he does have to turn around.
He didn't go over the army, which I think he could have, but I see what he was doing there. He wanted to hit the workers because no matter what, he'll get the workers. And no matter what, that puts him ahead.
Yeah. And you know what? This is so cool to see because Lucira just keeps healing. He has so many queens. Once again, he's up to 10. So he just keeps healing all of his ultras. It's, you know how people always talk about free units of Zerg being infested Terrans, broodlings, things like that. Well, this is like another way to look at that, where he's using the energy of the queens to basically have more ultras than he should.
Yeah.
These ultras should not be worth this much, but he just continues to utilize these queens in a brilliant manner.
Absolutely.
And he's wearing Ryung down. Look at all of his units are having a hard time being
Ryung is pretty nail tough. Nails tough.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, when you consider how long he's lasted against a maxed out Zerg like this.
Seriously.
I think here we go. He's going to come around here from multiple sides. And I believe that's going to be it. GG.
But you know what, Tasis? Lucira played brilliantly, but you were right. Ryung was so tough there. He was like, he was like that classic thing that remote controls coming.
Oh, yeah. The
It's
ones
like
that you can't get into.
Lucira had a knife, a lighter, and a pair of scissors, and it still took him.
Yeah, and he still probably cut his hand open on that. It's when you try to get a new controller for your PlayStation or Xbox, you try to get that thing open.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. You're thinking, oh, my God. Like, this is actually dangerous and stressful, and that's what it was like.
And that's what that game was like for Lucira. You know what? Ryung played very well, but Lucira, like, showing some insane skills that game, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling him getting out of this group.
I'm loving the Ultra Queen combination. And lots of queens at the start. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool. And the fact that even after he loses them down to 5, he goes back up to 10 a little bit later on and makes sure he keeps on healing, makes sure that he keeps on pushing the creep.
No brood lords necessary.
The way that Lucira played that is, in my brain, like, the way Zerg should be played. It was just so awesome. It was so swarmy. It just really utilized the strengths of Zerg.
We're going to take a quick little 5-minute break. When we get back, we're going to have more StarCraft 2 action.